Okay. So, really boring part, really quickly. It's actually not boring, but I told my team last night, like, I'm guilty of going to church. And when they say the announcements, like at the beginning, I'm like, okay, can we get past this? So I have to say announcements really quickly just to remind you guys, because if you're new, congrats for being on here. Morgan's contest that she posted. Make sure that you know that that contest is available. You guys, it is such an honor for Morgan to even ask, or for Morgan even to offer to pay someone's paycheck, like double it. So if you don't know what contest I'm talking about, please ask your enroller and they will tag you in that, because I don't want anybody to miss a chance to be able to get their paycheck matched. So what that means is that the task that you do and that you put in the chats of the screenshot, or that you put in the page of the screenshot showing that you enrolled a customer, that you completed your steps of success, or that you were on the power hour. Those are all things for you to be able to put into the drawing. And what she does is it say that you make a $400 paycheck. Well, guess what? If you're the winner, I think she's picking two winners. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she's picking two. She's doing two drawings. And say you make $400. Well, she's going to match that with $400. If you make $90, she's going to match it with $90. That's a blessing. Take charge of that. Make sure you know about that. Make sure you're really loud about that with your teams. I'm really excited. I told my team that they better show up and show out on that, because I'm really competitive. So I want my team to win, but I want all y'all to win. So make sure you know about that. And then the $100 bonuses that are out, make sure that you are winning with that. I will give some tips at the end of this to let you know what you should be doing in order to earn that. But anyway, so I want you to be able to earn that. And what that looks like is the 5 customers that you earn every single week, you get $100. Okay. So the first 2 that the first 3 that you get $20. The last 2 you get, $80. So that's $100 total. So worst case scenario, you only get 3 customers. Guess what? You're still getting $20, but we all want to be a blessing. We all want to get blessed. So earn that $100. I promise you it's 1,000% worth it. So enough with that. Okay. So I was reading this thing today, and it's a leadership book, and it's all about, it says it's the Maxwell Daily Reader. It's like a leadership book, but honestly, it has so many insightful things just about like life, your job, expectations in your life, just all around so amazing. And so I read this thing nonstop, and what it said was titled today, it says, life gives you what you expect. And so I want to talk about expectations for a second, okay? A lot of us have expectations in life. They can be bad or they can be good, and that can affect what's happening in your life. And I know from personal experience, this has happened on a good scale, and this has happened on a bad scale for me, okay? I've done both rounds, and I want everybody to be on the good side of things. So maybe if you are on the other spectrum and you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I am on the crappy end, hear me out. If you're on the good side, share that good glory with someone else so they can help feel the excitement that you feel. So what it was talking about is it was talking about like what you expect in life. And I'm going to kind of share some good news / bad news for you. If you've never been in this business before, it's going to be like this with anything, because it's like that with the gym or anything. What you're doing now determines what your paycheck will look like in 3 months from now. That is how everything works. I was in a sales job for a year, but last year I was doing my sales job. That's what they preached nonstop. It was outside sales where you would go to like business to business. The work that you did for the full like 30 days today is what will affect your paycheck in 90 days. Okay. So that is something that I want you to hear right now. So hear my heart when I say this, but that can either make you or break you. If you're the person that looks back and you're like, holy freaking crap, I have not done a thing, I will talk about that in a second. Give yourself grace. Don't panic, but know that now is the time to take action. And this is going to tie into the expectation that you should get. So with that being said, is the first question I have for you today is, what exactly are you expecting? And if you look back on maybe the past week or the past 2 weeks or the past month, and you look back at the events that happened in your life, are they good or are they bad? And they can range on a scale from really, really good or really, really bad or somewhat crappy, somewhat good. It doesn't matter. But if you look back on the things that you have thought about or that have happened in your life, chances are that's molding you into what you're thinking today. So maybe you lost strength last month. Maybe you lost volume, you lost a team member, you gained weight. I don't freaking know. There's so many scenarios. Maybe that happened to you. So it's rolling over in how you affect and how you feel this month, and it's affecting your drive or it's affecting your mindset. from moving forward and you're staying stuck. And I just got off this leadership Zoom before this, and they were talking about the feeling of just being stuck. I listened to a sermon today of just feeling stuck. I'm in this weird part in my life. Like, I'm in my 20s, and if you are in your 20s and you're past it, I don't know if we can all agree, but can we just agree that your 20s are just a weird time? Like, you're trying to figure out who you are. You're trying to figure out your personality. You're trying to figure out everything. So I just have like the 20s are so weird, you guys. Like, I'm 24, about to be 25, and I'm like, is this crap ever going to end? Like, what is going on? But it's also a blessing because you get to figure out who you are. But it's just such a weird time. So I can't even explain it. But anyway, so most of the time, the things that I'm expecting, it's because the past experiences that I've already had happen. So I caught myself being stuck in fear last week. I caught myself being stuck in fear that I was not going to move forward, or because volume didn't move last month. Okay. And that could be a blessing for some of you, because some of you are like, I'm just trying to survive. I'm just trying to maintain out here. And if you're new and you don't know what I'm talking about, you will know what I'm talking about. I'll talk to you too. But maybe you're in that position. And so I just want you to really evaluate. And this is the question that you can ask yourself is, what are you expecting lately? Are you expecting fear? Are you expecting failure? Are you expecting volume to drop? Are you expecting your relationships to go sour? Are you expecting for yourself to wake up in a groggy mood tomorrow? Are you expecting a headache to wake up tomorrow because you've woken up with the past 5 days with a headache? What is it, okay? And so this can evaluate, like, you can evaluate this on your own. You can ask yourself this, you can journal it. I don't care what you do, but that just kind of gets the ball rolling in your mind. And then I'm going to read this article, or not this article, but this page. So it says, life gives you what you expect. And then it says, the happiest people in life don't necessarily have the best of everything. They just try to make the best of everything. They're like the person in the remote village going to a well every single day to fill up the water. And every time they come back, they say, every time I come to this well, I come away with the bucket full, instead of, I can't believe that I have to keep coming back to this well to fill up my bucket. How many people do you know that's the glass that's half empty and the glass that's half full? So that's kind of a question that you can get the ball rolling to, is which one are you? Are you always complaining that it's empty, or are you like, oh my gosh, this is such a blessing, it's half full? So that can kind of be a question for you. And then it says, a person's attitude has a profound influence on his approach to life. Ask a coach before a big game whether his attitude and that of his players will make a difference in the outcome of the game. Ask a surgeon if the patient's attitude matters when she's trying to save that life in an emergency room. Ask a teacher if their student's attitude matters when they're trying to take a test. One of the things that I've learned in life is that often you get whatever you expect. If you expect bad things, those are what you get. If you expect good things, you often receive them. I don't know why this works that way, but it does. If you don't believe me, try it out. Give yourself 30 days in which you expect the best of everything: the best parking place, the best table at the restaurant, the best interaction with the clients, the best treatment from the service people. You'll be surprised at what you encounter, especially if you give your best to others in every situation as well. And then it says, begin your 30-day trial of expecting the best of everything. So I want to challenge each of you, and maybe you're someone that's like, I quit at absolutely everything that I do. So if I think about doing something for 30 days straight, it overwhelms me. That's me. Okay. So I'm not like counting you out. That's me. So what I do in increments is I do things in increments. Okay. So I maybe will challenge myself for a week at a time. Then once that week passes, I up it to 2 weeks. And then once I up it to 2 weeks, and I'm like, I can do 30 days. I got this. Okay. And so maybe you have to be that person. Or if you like a challenge, you're like, I got this 30 days. I'm speaking to both parts here. Challenge yourself for the next 30 days to expect the littlest things to go right. And if you didn't watch my manifestation Zoom that I did for my team about 2 weeks ago, I posted it on my YouTube. I'm not that confident when it comes to Zooms. That Zoom was good. Okay. I was confident when I got off that Zoom, and I got all my team messaging me saying, holy freaking crap, that Zoom was amazing. It changed my life. Okay. And so go back and watch it on my YouTube if you need to. But basically what I want you to do is challenge yourself to expect the good. And when I did this, and I actually did this, I did it for a week just to kind of do like a trial and error. I didn't do it for 30 days because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to overwhelm myself. Did it for a week, and I'll show y'all the things, the list that I have. And this, honestly, I stopped writing them down, which in my phone, I wrote them down on paper, but I stopped writing them down on my notes just because whatever was easiest, whatever I had at the time. Here it is. So it says things I've gotten blessed with by manifesting in my life. And this can go for like, if you're someone who's like manifesting, that's kind of like witchy. It's not, but if you're someone that's like that, think of it as you just expecting the best in everything. And y'all, I already have, oh, okay. I already have a list, and this isn't even all, this is just what's on my phone. This was with a week. All the good things, and nothing goes into 2 lines. It's all one-liners. Those are all the good things that happened because I expected them to happen. Before I rolled up in a parking spot, I was like, I'm going to get this free parking spot because we have to pay downtown to park. So every single time for a week, I rolled up and the parking was free. Some way, somehow, don't know. I got it for free, okay? The other ones in here, I got like free Chick-fil-A. I was manifesting money, and so you don't have to manifest money, but I just really wanted to challenge myself. So I got free parking. I got free Chick-fil-A. I got an unexpected $19 in my bank account. I got a credit towards a $750 credit towards a new iPhone I did not expect. I got a $16 random refund on my credit card. My bank called me and they're like, hey, by the way, you have this random money. Where do you want it deposited? I'm like, okay, that's a blessing. All the credit card declines that I needed to go through in order for me to have like people promote on my team last month, all of them went through. That has never happened. Okay. All of them went through where I needed them to. $10 credit at the liquor store if you like to drink. Okay. Who freaking gets that at the liquor store? Okay. I was really excited about that. I was like, absolutely. I'll use that $10 credit. So my liquor went from being $25 to 15, or like it was like 10 or whatever. So that's a blessing. Carly was with me. She witnessed that. And then me and Carly were at the grocery store. Okay. And this was just me after manifesting all these things. Some lady like needed a quarter at the Aldi's. And so we pulled up and she gave that person a quarter, turned around and the car already had a quarter in it, the one that we were about to get. And so like, I know that that's like, these are such little examples, but y'all, I was expecting good things to happen. And I can tell, I got in my head last week I didn't do them. And guess where my headspace has been at? It has not been at the 100% that it was when I was manifesting these things. Is it getting better now? Absolutely. That's because I'm so focused on getting it back right, because I don't sit here and dwell on my feelings for 17 days straight, okay? I kind of pick myself back up, and that's the importance of personal development. I can go over that another time. Expect good things. And that was something that I wanted to challenge you with. So I really want you, maybe your team isn't on here, maybe they couldn't make it, someone you don't know that couldn't make it on here, whatever the case might be the person who starts this, okay? I really want to challenge you to do this, because we all know that when we are in a good mood, when we are being blessed, it's a lot easier to spread the blessing to someone else. Whereas if you're in a dark place, if you're in a crappy place, if you're in a place of discouragement, whatever it might feel or whatever it might be, it might not be as great. So be that person who starts this trend and then carries it on to someone else and helps them do it, okay? That's why I lead my prayer Zooms. I started the prayer Zoom so I can make myself take action of praying over other people. That's what I wanted to do. And now we have a prayer chat, and I make myself pray over other people continually because I don't want it to be about me anymore. So make sure that you're doing that and taking action. And then what the questions I want you to ask yourself so you can kind of envision this. My leg is asleep. It's fine. Dallas is in my office, so I'm having to sit on the floor. It's fine. We're making it work. But imagine if you do this for 30 days straight. Ask yourself these 3 questions. How proud you'd be of yourself? And can we just be honest? When you've done something for a certain amount of time that you told yourself that you would do, I can actually say that I'm not a victim, but I'm someone who is really guilty of saying I'm going to do something, and then I don't follow through. And I get really irritated at myself that I'm like that. And then I get in this hole, and then I get in this rut, and I'm just really hard on myself. And I'm like, Macy, why the freak did you just do this? You just promised yourself, even though you know you're not going to do it. So guess what I did? I started doing things in baby increments and told myself, you can do this, but you have to start somewhere small. And so I did that. And y'all have heard this a million times, but I'll say it again for the new people on here. That's how I started exercising last year. I've never been consistent in exercising a day in my life. I started taking our products consistently every single day. I had never been consistent in that, and that can affect your business too. If you don't have before and after pictures, be consistent in taking the products. I promise you'll feel good. And then also that's how it was with eating healthy, okay? I had to start with baby increments. I had to promise myself that I would just move my body for 15 minutes a day for 30 days straight. Just 15 minutes, you guys. If you can dedicate 15 minutes a time, you can do that, okay? That's how I did everything that I've done. That's how I've done with, I'm trying to think, like, honestly, I do that with a lot of things in my life. Okay. I could probably list a ton, but that's how I started personal development. I only dedicated 5 minutes a day. And that sounds really little. And some of y'all are like, only 5 minutes? Yeah, only 5 minutes. Okay. Because at that time, I was so obsessed with listening to music in the car that I didn't want to give up me listening to music in the car for me listening to a personal development book. So in order to create that habit, started 5 minutes a day. In order for me to like Christian music, I just had to play it for 5 minutes a day. That's a true story. And now I love me some Jesus jams. Okay. So create that habit. So that's the first question, is how proud you be. You want yourself to be proud of yourself. Okay. So feel that, imagine that, manifest it over your life, and know that you can make yourself feel proud. The second question is how good you would actually feel from being proud of yourself. So like imagine what it would be like if you caught yourself like expecting the good and for 30 days and then you're receiving all those good things. Do you not think like the hormones in your body, you would just be so excited, like you would just be like, oh my gosh, off the wall, like you would want to share it with everybody? I know when things good happen to me and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to share this blessing with other people. And the third question is the perspective that you would now have after you did that for 30 days. The perspective would change, because maybe your perspective right now is it's too hard, or maybe your perspective is I can't do this because of this, or you're making so many excuses that your perspective is so jagged. You know what my perspective has been this past week? It's been really crappy. It's been really crappy because I've been around people who drain me. Okay. And I realized, and when I do that, I do it every single time I get around people who drain me, and then I feel like crap. And I'm like, why did I do that to myself? And then it just goes in the spiral. So I've really had to commit to myself that I cannot keep doing that to myself. Okay. And so just imagine how you'd feel. Ask yourself those 3 questions. And I promise you, commit to something today in your life, and you will be so proud of the person that you become. Because if we're being honest, so many of us try to do this business, and then if you don't see instant results, or if you're manifesting something, or you're working out, you're exercising, you're dieting, you're doing all these things, and you don't see instant results like that, y'all, we're a microwave society. We expect results within 5 seconds. And if we don't, we give up. Okay. How many people do you know that's doing this business, and a day later they text you saying, I can't do this, or a week later, or even a month later, or even 6 months later? Okay. How many I can tell y'all how many people I signed up, and it would be ridiculous. And I literally am someone, I'm a yellow, and my dominant color is yellow and blue. They're pretty equal. And so I just latch on to people, and I'm like, no, but share the vision with me. I believe in you so much. You told me that you had 6 kids and you needed to support them and you can't afford to. Why would you give up on yourself? I'm that person. So it's not like I sign people up just to sign people up. It's like I sign people up because, sis, I believe in you. And people quit on me because they can't see the vision within themselves, because they give up too easily. They expect something to happen overnight. And so that's kind of where we have to set that expectation for people, and now let people know, if you trust the process and you do the work in this business, it will come into fruition. So that goes back to the first point that I made. The work that you do now determines your paycheck in the next 90 days. Did you have a plan to start doing something in August? Start now. I literally had a girl tell me on my team the other day, I can't, okay, I'm really excited to get started back in my business in a couple of months. I really am excited to get my good paycheck in a couple of months. Like that's when I'll start coming out, like going after my rank. What do you mean 3 months from now? You mean now? Because that's what's going to affect your paycheck and your promotion from 3 months from now. So if you're that person that's sitting on the back lines because you're like, life has happened, I get it, you guys. I really get it. Life has happened to me too while in this business. Okay. Life happens to everybody. Your story is not insignificant just because someone else has a harder story than you, and yours isn't more significant than other people. Everybody goes through something, but it's just a matter of, is your why strong enough? Okay, we talk about that all the time, and I know it's so repetitive, but that's the biggest question that I can ask you is, what are you using your excuses for? Like, are you saying, my kids just drove me crazy today, that's why I couldn't do my 6 list? But you joined this business for your kids. Okay, so like, what are you doing at this point? Like, why are you here? And I really have to ask the really hard question at this point: why are you here? Why are you here? You're on here, you're on the Zoom. So you're not on the Zoom just because someone made you, because let's be real, nobody can make you do anything, especially over Zoom. Okay, we're all virtual at this point. Nobody can make you get on. So you got on the Zoom because you wanted to hear something good to light your fire. You wanted to hear something good so you can get that affirmation to know that, okay, it's okay to move forward, that your dream is possible and your dream is worth it. No matter how ridiculous it might sound to other people, it's not ridiculous to me. I believe in you. If you want to become a millionaire in 25 days, that's a little, I mean, that's going to be hard, but I mean, I believe in you. I'll cheer you on. I'll pray over you, you know? And so I just want you to know that like, whatever you keep making the same patterns in your head over and over again, telling you that you can't do it, you can. And that's what I caught myself doing this past week is I was just like, something has got to change. What am I expecting? Am I expecting this person to leave my team? Am I expecting someone to quit? Am I expecting something? And I was expecting someone to quit. And guess what? I got a text from someone yesterday saying that they were quitting, which it was not a surprise, but they quit. And guess what? I was like, of course they did. And I caught myself saying that and I'm like, hold up, what kind of story have you been telling yourself lately? And so then I realized, oh, the past events that have happened in the past week, I've expected them to happen because I just know I'm this person. And you could probably connect with me on this too, is when something good happens, you're like, all right, something around the corner must be bad. Something must happen. We can't stay up here forever. You can't stay on this tall mountain forever. And that's true to a certain extent because we all know that hills have valleys and valleys have hills. Like you can't climb a mountain just by like already starting at the top. Like that doesn't work that way. You know, you have to go through the valleys, the trenches and stuff, but that's the type of person that you grow into in that process. And so don't ever avoid the valleys. Don't ever avoid the things that are hard because those are the things that make you and mold you into the person that you want to be, that you're praying so hard to be. And so that's kind of off topic, but this is like a quote that I heard, and it was I don't know if y'all follow Gold Digger Influence on Instagram. If y'all don't, go follow that page. It's always posts like just inspirational stuff for the business, and also gives you like slides to post on Instagram. But one of the quotes said, "The last thing to grow on a fruit tree is the fruit," and so that goes back to the expectation of instantly getting results. So maybe you're someone who you're like, you know what, I've done my 6 list for the past 6 days. And I haven't signed up a customer. I'm discouraged. This doesn't work. This doesn't work like you promised me. No, we never told you. Nobody ever told you, oh, you're going to become an instant success overnight. You know, the word that overnight success, you know, that like line, that's not a thing. That is not a thing. Okay. There are so many events that lead up to someone being an overnight success. The celebrities that you now see pop up and you're like, oh, they created this great song, but what you don't know is they've been creating that song for the past 7 years and you didn't see it. There's no such thing as overnight success, even if it may happen. People pop up famous on TikTok. Well, guess what? They've been working hard at it for years, or they've been, trying to create the content for the past 6 weeks or whatever it might be. You don't know their story. So stop expecting overnight success to happen with the things that you're doing. You have to trust the process. And it's a harder thing to do in this business. And it's a harder thing to do just in life, if we're being honest, because we are such an instant society, Google personality type of people who just expect something like when we look it up, we want the results right then and there. I'm very guilty of this. And so I have to ground myself. But guess what? I am so thankful for the waiting period. I'm so beyond thankful of how God makes me in that period, because guess what? When something happens, I'm like, I prayed for this. This is a blessing. I'm thankful. I waited this long, and guess what? He promised me he would never return a void, and he didn't. And guess what? I'm here now. I prayed for it. It might be 7 years later. It might be 14 years later. Did you know that Rachel Hollis, I don't know if y'all read her books. Have y'all ever read her books? But Girl Wash Your Face, she was writing it for 11 years, and she had already been writing so many books before that. But the Girl Wash Your Face was the one that hit the books, and now look at her. Okay, I can literally explain. Steve Harvey didn't get his first TV interview until he was like 37, and he had been wanting since 10 years old, that he always claimed he wanted to be on TV. Okay, Oprah Winfrey, she got fired, I believe. I think she got fired from her first job because they told her that for some reason, I don't know. And then the next job that she got, she was obviously famous. She was Oprah. Okay. And so there's so many things that you can look at and you can be like, oh, well, why is it happening so quickly for them? Well, you don't see the work that they put in time and time and time and time again. So if you're someone who just joined this business yesterday or 2 weeks ago, or you just started using the products 2 weeks ago, yesterday, last month, and you're like, none of this works. Do you get those customers that's like, this doesn't work? And I'm like, is this how long you've been using it? Did you take before and afters? And they're like, no, just a week, not even a week straight, just 2 days. And I'm like, Okay, we've got to change this for society, okay? Do not be that person that thinks that instant results can happen. They can. And let me just tell you, I'm in a very, very safe and comfortable spot. Actually, it might not be safe because I'm in a comfortable spot in my business to where every single time I post, people come to me at this point because I've been so consistent for the past 6 years. Every single time I post, people come to me. And that is a blessing, but it has not always been that way. Morgan, the same exact way. Every single time she posts, she at least gets like 10 potentials, something crazy like that, like every single time. I'm the same exact way. And I say that with confidence because I've worked my butt off to have that happen. And I want y'all to have that happen too, but you can't expect things to happen overnight. And so maybe you are someone who has joined this business and you have this dream in mind, you're so excited and you're telling your husband or you're telling your spouse about this, you're so excited for where this business is going to take you. And then a week later, they're like, but where's that paycheck you promised me? First off, they should be supporting you. And if they don't, maybe be a little bit quieter about where you're going until you make that paycheck so you can flash it in their face and be like, you know what, this might be only $20. This might be only $70. But guess what? It's paying for this, you know? And so just sometimes you have to be careful with that too, because I do have people on my team that they'll do that and like their spouses just kind of like disrupt their vision. You know, it kind of sucks sometimes, but don't be that person that expects overnight success. So that was one of the things, the fruit tree, the last thing you see into fruition is the actual fruit. Then it says, there was a quote that I wrote down. Oh, this was kind of with the expectations. So with the expectations part, how I told y'all I wanted y'all to do it for the next 30 days. So this kind of goes into talking about the task with the things that you need to do in order for your business. The next time I talk to girls on my team, especially I see a trend when people are new, which they don't know any better. It's new. I totally understand. I was this way too. When they send out like 10 messages, they're like, nobody's responding. Nobody's interested. Nobody's this. I didn't get any feedback from my one post that I did last week. No. And then all of a sudden negative, okay? What if every single time you posted something, every single time you sent a message, every single time you did a poll, every time you sent out a gratitude message to your customers or whatever the case may be, you expected great things? And that's where the expectation comes from. So many of you guys have had the same things happen over and over again. And again, it comes back from your expectations. So you are scared to check in with your customers because you had one person tell you they didn't like the products. Guess what? I was in the food industry for 7 years. Do you know how many people told me my food is cold? I didn't like the sandwich. The sandwich didn't look the way it looked on the picture. I'm not happy with this. I don't like it, but then they ate every single bite. You know, those people, I mean, if you in the food industry, you know what I'm talking about. Can I speak to your manager? All these things, I can literally name all the examples, like, because the food industry, like, it just hits home, you know. But you see all these things happen, and the same thing happens in this business. So it's really funny to see that. But what if every single task that you did, you expected something good to happen from it? And it doesn't have to be enrollment based. Okay, you guys, we know that we praise enrollments all the time in this business. That's what we love to do. I love to do it. I like get a high off of enrolling. Okay. I love getting new people started in their business, and I love getting new people to try these products. Okay. I love it. But guess what? You don't always have to be enrolling all the time to see the little wins either. So what if you expected, when you're sending messages, when you're posting whatever, when you're sending a message, what if you just expect good feedback? Okay. You can go a little bit further, but maybe if you're a little bit skeptical, maybe you just need to think good feedback. Okay. Maybe if you've been in this business for a while and you're like, not bring it on, you expect an enrollment to come from the messages that you've sent. Okay. For me, every single time I message, I expect an enrollment. Not like every single message that I send, obviously, but every time I do my batches of work, I expect results. Okay. I do at this point because I'm so confident in what I do, and I see it happen over and over again because I've been consistent for the past 6 years. It just kind of comes like, it's like in my sleep at this point. Okay. But if you're newer and you're like, I'm a little skeptical, I don't know about this, then just expect something good. So maybe you're posting, expect someone to say really nice things to you, okay? Maybe you are sharing something about like your life or whatever it might be. You're getting really vulnerable. I know some people struggle with anxiety and like depression and things on here. What if you expect someone's life to be saved from that? You might not know, because they might not text you and say, hey, by the way, your post really saved my life. maybe you just expect that to happen, and then you have just like this warm fuzzy feeling inside that, like, to know that because you shared that, you probably saved a life. You know how many times that I've posted like encouragement and just genuine encouragement, it wasn't anything business related, and I was just like, you know what, sis, hard days happen, depression happens, whatever, you can get through it, I promise you. And people have messaged me and said, because you posted this, I was able to get out of bed today. I literally got like 3 messages like that the other day. And something like that, it's just so heartfelt. It doesn't have to be business related at all. It can just be you making an impact with people. And so I think that so many of us expect the bad things to happen or expect the wrong things to happen, and that's why you constantly see negative results. And someone said on the Zoom that I was on before this, they were saying that when you worry and you just work in fear, you're counterproductive. You're actually going in reverse. All the work that you did because your worry and fear is like the first thing that's in your mind, you're counterproductive. So the things that you did, you're now undoing. And it makes total sense, because if you send 15, 20, 30, 50 messages, and then all of a sudden you worry and you're like, oh my gosh, nobody's going to message me back. Oh my gosh, nobody's going to put up a post for me. Oh my gosh, nobody's going to do this. Guess what's more than likely going to happen? Those things are going to happen. I wrote down the statistics because they just told me this and I did not know this, but 91.39% of the problems and the worries that we have don't actually happen. Can you just like think about that for a second? So what if you changed all the thoughts that you're thinking, like, this person's not going to sign up, this person's not going to trust me to be their sponsor, this person's not going to love this post, this person's not going to like what I said, this person's not going to support me, and flip it. Just expect something good to happen. And I can talk about manifestation all day because, y'all, I've literally been learning about it so much, and there's just so many things that it's done to me that I'm just like, holy freaking crap. But guess what? I have bad days too, okay? I'm not going to say it's always going to make you be easy. I've been in a really weird headspace this past week, like I told y'all, and I know that I'll get past it because I'm taking action, and I expect myself to get out of it. I expect myself to get out of it because of the times that I'm pouring into myself, okay? And so just expect for good things to happen. Anytime you do something not even business related, anytime you go work out, be like, you know what? I'm going to get so much energy after this workout. I'm going to get a compliment saying that I look good today. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And just expect good things to happen. And when you start living in an expectancy of abundance, it's like, I can't even explain the feeling, you guys. I really can't. It's something that you're going to have to experience yourself. And then when you have success with this, please message me. I always tell you guys, if I give y'all like actual tools in order to like move forward and do something, I always tell y'all to please tell me the results that you get, because I know that you'll get results. Please message me the things that you've done, and then tell me the victories that you have from it. But expect that. And then another thing was that I was going to talk about, and I think I'd said this earlier, but if I didn't, please forgive me if I did. So if I repeat myself, I apologize. If you are thinking about what you didn't do or what you did do a week ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, last week, whatever it might be, forgive yourself in this moment. Don't expect, because you didn't work last week, because you didn't work last month, that you're not going to get a good paycheck this month, that you're not going to have people come to you, that you're not going to have people sign up under you, whatever. Don't expect that. Just give yourself grace, forgive yourself for whatever you didn't do, and automatically just be like, you know what? I forgive myself, and people are still going to come to me because I know the work that maybe I did, a couple months ago, that's going to come into fruition today and save me. So just be expectant of good things, and I promise you it's going to be so just worth it. And so that kind of ties into the 6 list, and like you expecting good things to come out of your 6 list. And so obviously, if you're new and you haven't been taught the 6 list, then your sponsor can tell you. So if this is kind of going up your head, I do apologize if you're brand new. But again, props to you if you're on. I have some newbies who are on here. I'm just so dang proud. But the 6 list is really important, you guys, okay? And I'm not going to talk about what each one is and what you need to do for that, whatever it might be. But expect that if you create this habit within 30 days of expecting good things and doing the work, expect for nothing but greatness to happen in the summer, in August, in September, in October, November, and all these months, okay? And so just be confident in that, okay? So maybe you are like, but I have to pay this light bill today. I have to pay this light bill today or it's going to get turned off, so I have to make $150 or whatever. Light bills, I hopefully pray to Jesus they're not that much. But say you have to make money right now in this instant. Do not put this pressure on this business, okay? Do not put this pressure on this business and say, just because I didn't make that money today, this business doesn't work. That's not fair. That's not fair to you. That's not fair to this business. That's not fair to your sponsor who signed you up. That's not fair at all, okay? Expect for good things to happen, but expect them in due time, okay? Expect them to happen when they're supposed to happen. Tells you all the time, if you're super spiritual, you'll know to trust God. Trust God all the time. If you're not super spiritual, still trust God, okay? Trust God, trust the universe, that timing is going to happen when it needs to. Do the work now, and your excitement will follow. Your vision, hopefully, is there. So that's going to be something, so when you wake up tomorrow and you're like, man, I just want to sleep in for 15 more minutes and not send messages, get up anyways, okay? Because that excitement's going to follow, and that expectancy is going to start creating like a pattern in your head to where you wake up and you're like, you know what? I'm going to do great things today, and I'm going to see the blessings that come from this. And it's all back to expectancy. I know that I keep saying that word over and over and over again, but like when I was reading that today, I was like, this is what I'm going to talk about, because I just see so many things that happen in people's life and where they just expect all the, you know, those people that you're like, that you talk to. And I use this example a lot because it's so true, where you talk to them and you expect negative things to come out of their mouth because all they do is talk about negative things. And they're like, can this happen again? Well, what else can go wrong in my life? What else can go wrong? Can this person just do this one thing right? Can one thing right happen to me? You know those people, okay? Do not be that person. The reason those things keep happening to that person over and over and over and over again is because they expect it to happen. Don't we think that? Like, I'm not saying that people have crappy lives because they've just put it on themselves, but I am in a way. And I feel bad for those people, but at the same time, like, don't let those people drag you down, okay? People in my family, people in my friend group do those things. So I have to kind of distance myself. So with that being said, what else was I going to talk about? Oh, okay. So this was another thing that I heard on the Leaders In before this, which I've heard it a million times, but I feel like I need to repeat it. Don't expect results if you haven't put in the work, okay? So don't expect to run off of faith and be like, God, Jesus, Lord, can you please bless the work? And then you haven't even put in work to begin with, okay? So this goes back to giving yourself grace. So if you have not done if you have not done work until this very moment, because you're on the Zoom, this is work. I consider this work because you're showing up. If you have not done work before this, give yourself grace and now go take action so God can bless something in your life. Do not sit here and be like, you know what? I haven't done work in the past 3 years, but I'm going to pray for God to bless my work that I didn't do. That doesn't make sense, okay? She specifically says, she said, faith without works is dead. And I want you to take that home with you. And I want you to realize that if you're praying over something, if you're expecting good things, but you haven't put the work behind it, there might need to be some adjustments in your life that need to be shifted. Time management might need to be shifted to the top, okay? Because if you realize that you're waking up at 10:30 every day in the afternoon, or it's in the morning technically, but to me, if I woke up at 10:30 every day, I'd panic because that's just really late. If you wake up at 10:30 every day and you're like rushing to get stuff done and then you go to sleep at night, you lay your head down on the pillow and you haven't done anything on your 6 list, time management is the issue. We all have the same time. It's not because you're tired. It's not because you're overworked. It's not because you don't have enough time in the day. It's just because time management. Let's just be real. So allow him to bless those things and pray over those things specifically. And that was something that was really powerful because I was like, oh my gosh, that is so true. That is so freaking true. Like sometimes I'm like, Lord, can you please bless me with this type of thing in my life? Can you please bless me with this money? And he's like, that money? You haven't done the work for that money? You have not done the work for a $15,000 paycheck. Says, come on now, like step it up a little bit. And that was kind of the wake up call that I got this week. And then let's see. Let me see if I wrote down another quote. I'm trying to think. I don't think, oh yeah. And then the last thing that I was going to say, and then I was going to tie it things back to the $100 before we wrap this up, but it was talking about the definition of insanity is expecting different results by doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. So that goes back to like time management and doing the things just within this business. If you've been sending the same message and you've sent it like maybe 100 plus times and it's not working, change it up, okay? You're allowed to change it up. That's what the beauty of this business is you can do the things that you want to do and change them up. There are things that works for me that doesn't work for my leaders, vice versa. There's things that Morgan does and I'm like, that works for you, it doesn't work for me. But guess what? It's a trial and error phase. So if you're sitting here posting at the same time every single day, and then you realize that you're getting no interaction, no likes, whatever, but you're not interacting at all, change it up. Okay. So stop being insane and stop just praying for things to be changed if you're not even changing it. And I feel like this is going to call a lot of people out because we want to blame everything else. We want to blame the business. We want to blame maybe our sponsor for not teaching us. We want to blame our sponsor for walking away. We want to blame all the outer circumstances. We want to blame our kids for acting crazy. We want to blame this, whatever. We want to blame the people that we follow. We want to say, oh my gosh, nobody's supporting my business, or nobody wants these products because it's already saturated, or these people have already tried these products. They already have other reps. No. I literally listened to a podcast today and she said there's no such thing as oversaturation. There's absolutely no such thing. It's a lie that you tell yourself so you can panic out of the thing that you want to get into. So no, there's no such thing as oversaturation. So stop telling yourself the same lies over and over and over and over again and expecting different results. It's like me telling myself every single day the same lies and I expect something to change. That's why I got the book, Winning the War in Your Mind. So I can really figure out, where are these patterns coming from? Where are these lies coming from? Because they're not serving me. They're not helping me, but they're also not going away. Because I can't just be like, okay, please go away now. I can't do that. Because at this point, they're instilled in my mind and they've made tracks in my mind. And so now I have to really go back to the source and be like, okay, what's causing this issue? Now let's retrack it and let's fix it. Let's make a new route in our head to be like, all right, you've got this, sis. And just retrain your mind. Retrain the way that you think. Retrain what you're doing. If what you're doing isn't working, we have so many tools, you guys. There have been so many people promoting this month. So many girls on my team promoted last month. So many things that are happening. This business works. The products, I have customers literally texting me today saying, I need another order of this. This is so amazing. I need this. I'm so thankful for these products. Thank you so much. These products are great. Okay. This business is great. If you are choosing not to see it that way, it's just because your perspective is a little bit jagged and you just need to change it. So hopefully that helps. I felt like I needed to hear that earlier this week. That's why I've been kind of studying and praying on, and y'all, it has changed the game for me. So I was going to leave a little bit of space and I can kind of talk in between too, but if y'all have any questions about the 6 list or what it is that y'all need to be doing, I am opening up this to let you know there is no stupid question. I'm a yellow personality, so I feel like if I'm in a big group of people, I get paralyzed by fear because I think that if I ask a question, it's probably already been asked a million times, because guess what? It probably has, but guess what? I repeat myself all the time, and that's fine. That's what you do is when you sign up as a leader, and I get the fear of getting called out being like, that's a stupid question. There's no stupid question. So ask any questions in the chat that you want. I'm here until 10 my time, so 10 more minutes. Okay, so I got a question already, and they said, do you do any kind of reach out message? My reach out message, this works for me, and there's so many different methods. I personally reach out with just host to post, and what that host to post message looks like. I do this for everything on Facebook, and I'll send it in here really quickly. Let me see if it will copy and paste to my computer. This is just the basic message that I send on Facebook, and I change it up. I usually try to tell my team to change it up to how they sound, because I don't ever want someone to feel like it's not genuine, because I'm a yellow, so I always care about what people think too. This is the message that I send. When they post it, I'm like, okay, awesome, thank you. We put this post. I normally give them a giveaway post, so that way I can interact, and that way I can get more friends on my friends list. I give them a giveaway post, and then guess what? When they post for me, unless they're not my cup of tea, maybe they don't have the same interests as me, they don't post the things that I like, then I'll offer them the products. But I always ask them the business. So I ask them this, but if say they are maybe not in the age range that I want to, because maybe they are 60 years old, and that's totally fine, but I don't feel like I can connect as well with a 60-year-old training them. So guess what? I'm not going to necessarily offer them the business. Again, nothing wrong with that at all. But let me see. It's not copying from my computer. this is the message that I just send them if when they post for me. And again, if I don't want to offer them the business, then I offer them the products. Waiting for it to, okay. That one. And then I do still do potential distributor messages too. I'll do like 20 a day just to see who I can get. But that one, I'm really particular about that. And it's always on Instagram. So my message is just like, let me see. I'll just copy and paste it in here too. I deleted a lot of my notes, and so they're not in the same place, and my text replacement changes all the time. So give me like, I've relabeled everything and I don't know where it's at. Anyways, I don't know. Yes, I will send this in goal crushers because that might be easier. Someone else asked a different question. Do you think attraction marketing does the best in the business on getting distributors? So I actually don't get, like, I get potential distributors on Instagram, but my biggest thing is I reach out to potential distributors, and that's just me. I do get a lot of people coming to me from my post, from my distributor post, because I'm just really real and raw and they connect with me. But most likely I'm offering them the business, and then they reach out to me from my business post. So yes, attraction marketing is always a great thing to do. And if you haven't watched the what is it called, the branding Zoom that Ashley Mayfield does, it's absolutely incredible. It helps you figure out your pillars. People know when they come to my page, you're going to figure out about my dogs really quickly. You're going to figure out about me and my fiance and me planning a wedding, and you're going to figure out that I love food. But you're also, the number one thing that you're going to figure out is I love encouragement and empowerment. And people thrive off of that from my page. And I've branded myself so well with that people come to me so much for that. So you need to brand yourself, and that's what attraction marketing is. So yes. What message do you send after they did a host post to see if they're interested in a 90-day challenge? I just sent that. So there you go. Got another question. Oh no, I didn't. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Yeah, so hopefully that helps. There was something else that I was going to mention. Thank you, Emily, so much. There was something else I was going to mention. Let me think of it. 1 second. Oh, this was something that I was going to let y'all know is don't let your team miss out on knowing about the $100. So maybe you have someone that has kind of like ignored you. I'm someone, again, I'm yellow, especially. So I will reach out to someone about 20 times before I'm like, okay, I should get the message that they probably hate me, but it's fine. So I will reach out to them over and over again. Make sure that you're reaching out to everybody, even if you feel like they maybe have quit, and say, hey girl, I just our company just announced, I don't know if you saw this, but we're doing $100, so you get a $100 bonus every time you sign up 5 customers. I would love to teach you how to do this because I'm very confident in my enrollments, and my customers love their products. Like, would you want me to teach you? And guess what? If they don't reply, they don't reply, but the ball's in their court at this point. But you've offered them that. So don't let anybody go unnoticed on your team knowing about the $100 bonus. And say you're brand new and you're like, I don't have one person under me. Well, good. That's fine. That's totally fine. We all start from somewhere. So you be the person that earns $100. And then guess what? When someone asks you how much money you've made and you're brand new and you can say, I already made a $100 bonus, they're like, $100 can pay for my gas for the full month. $100 can do this. And so people connect with you on the little things. $100 goes a long way, you guys. I joined for $100. Okay. And now I make like quadruple times quadruple of that. Okay. Like, you have to start somewhere. People connect with you on the smaller things. So make sure that. And then the $50 promo, yes, 50% off promo codes with the plus perks. So if you got the plus pass on the conference ticket, if you haven't, please do yourself a favor and go do that. The conference is absolutely incredible. I can tell you every single time after conference, I always promote, my team always promotes. It's just a feeling that I literally can't explain until you do it. So I have newbies who literally just got their conference ticket. So if you're new and you already got your conference ticket, freaking shout out to you. Okay. And if you're not, and you haven't yet, again, give yourself grace, but do it. And if you're like, I don't have the money to do it, well, guess what? We have $100 bonuses out right now, so you can get it, you can buy it. So there's literally no excuse as to why you can't get it. 50% off promo codes that you get with that. So people who will join your business will be able to join you for 50% off. So use these perks. Do not miss out. And yes, you can pay by commission as well. So when you get your paycheck, it'll just come out of your paycheck. So please use these perks. Does anybody have any last minute questions before I end this? I am going to stop recording.